Hello! Welcome to the Car Solutions online store. Today we are going into the sacred place of our store, the Car Solutions garage. Here we install equipment and conduct various experiments. In this video, I would like to tell you about a low-cost solution for Ford vehicles, namely about an OEM stereo with the ability to play content from USB drives. Most of the time, the stereo that comes with your car can't do that. Let's see how it looks. So today, we are in a Ford Focus. Here is the standard Model 6000 CD OEM stereo. The functionality of the stereo is rather limited. The user cannot connect a USB drive to it. Most people don't require navigation or the possibility to play video, etc. They just want to connect their USB stick and enjoy their favorite songs while driving. With the old stereo, you either have to take a pile of CDs with you or invent another solution. You can use other additional devices such as Denson adapters, which allow you to connect USB sticks or an iPod or iPhone to the OEM stereos. However, we think the best idea is to replace the old stereo without a USB port with a stereo that has this function. So let's take a look at how to install a new stereo and the results. Here we can see an OEM stereo with the ability to connect devices using a USB port. This is the same OEM device which allows you to connect a flash drive and play music from it. Now we will eject the old 6000 CD OEM stereo and install our new stereo in its place. We will also install a USB module together with the stereo. It will be installed in the blank spot below and connect to the car stereo. This is where you can plug in your flash drive, iPhone, or iPod. The stereo also has an aux input. In this case, it will not be used. Also, I would like to talk a little bit about the earlier generation of 6000 CD stereos. In some cases, more rectangular, not so rounded stereos were installed by the manufacturer. Our stereo with the USB function can be installed in cars with rectangular 6000 CD stereos. However, you will need a trim plate and mounts, which will allow installation of the new stereo in the old one's place. Then, everything will look perfect. So, let's install this stereo, and you will see how simple it is. You can definitely do it by yourself. Let's get started. First of all, you'll need to remove the plastic trim plate, which is in front of the place where the old stereo is situated. To do it, just pry it with both of your hands. Be careful. As you can see, it can be removed rather easily. However, please be careful not to break the plate. This can happen when you make abrupt movements. Just insert your fingers and carefully pull on it. So, as you can see, the plate has been easily removed. Then we will need a Phillips screwdriver to unscrew the 4 self-tapping screws. After that, you should remove the lower panel to free the blank space where you will install the USB module. To do this, use a T25 bit. Unscrew the plastic self-tapping screws. There are only 2 of them. Then pry the panel on the top back and pull. As you can see, here is 1 free blank space. Install the USB module in its place. You need to stretch the cable above and then connect it to the OEM stereo. You can install it this way or this way, whatever's more comfortable for you. It should click when it goes in. Now let's remove the stereo. You can do it rather easily. Now we will see what everything looks like in here. So, what do we have on the rear side of the stereo? Here's the socket for a radio antenna and something called a quad lock. First, we need to disconnect the antenna, then disconnect the quad lock. There is a tab on the bottom. Pry it up and pull by the handle. This will help to easily remove it. That's it. The OEM stereo is disconnected. Let's get our new stereo. So let's take a look at the differences between the OEM stereo, which was installed in the car, and the new OEM stereo to be installed. Here we have the same connectors and the sockets for installing the stereo antenna. Plus the new stereo has the socket for a USB module connection. So let's install the new stereo and see the result. First of all, connect the quad lock connector. Then connect the USB module. Here is our cable. At the end, connect the antenna. Put the stereo into the slot. Install everything back in reverse order. Mount the lower plastic panel. Screw in the T25 self-tapping screws. Don't push hard since the screws are plastic. Then use the Phillips head bit and screw in the stereo. Here also, don't push hard, otherwise you will just strip the thread. Finally, put the trim plate back. Just push slightly on the top, on the bottom, and along the whole plate. So as you can see, the stereo has been installed. It fully fits the interior of the car and doesn't differ from the previous OEM stereo. The only difference is the USB inscription. So let's connect a USB drive. In our case, I have a card reader with a card in it. Plug it into the module and just turn on the stereo. Press the aux button to switch to the USB module. From the very beginning, the first track from the first folder starts to play. If we stopped on another track earlier, the radio will resume playing from that spot. The radio remembers the place where the music was stopped. Use the same buttons to switch tracks and browse folders. Here, we have a multifunctional joystick. You can use it to select tracks, or just use the previous and next buttons for switching. If you have steering wheel controls, it will also work with this stereo. That's it! Our video is coming to its end. If you have any questions about this or any other device from our product line, please visit our forum or post your comments on our website using Discuss. See you in our next videos!